I'm Chelsey Kuper, registered dietitian with Digestive Care Center, and this is Simply Made Meals. And today I'm going to be showing you simple ingredient combinations that you can use to flavor low-sodium dishes, specifically with some Mexican-inspired meals and some Italian-inspired meals. So it is beneficial to our health to reduce any excess sodium that's in our diet, and we can get that through pre-seasoned or packaged foods or eating out. The recommendation is to get less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day in our diet. But with the pre-seasoned packaged foods that we tend to rely on a lot, we can get well over that amount. So there are some really good and easy ways that you can add a lot of flavor to your dishes with less salt. So for a Mexican-inspired meal or dish, you want to have these ingredients on hand. So some extra virgin olive oil and cilantro. And cilantro you can either get fresh and keep in the fridge for a few days, or you can get it in a squeeze tube and keep it in there for 1 to 2 weeks in the refrigerator, or you can get it frozen in these little individual containers and keep it in there for a few months. If you don't like cilantro, you can substitute parsley. Another great ingredient to have on hand is getting some limes or just lime juice that you can buy. And then a Fiesta seasoning blend, a no salt variety, which they tend to have different varieties out there. If you don't have a Fiesta seasoning blend, then think about keeping cumin, chili powder, and garlic powder around, and you can use those as well. Also, some things to think about adding to a Mexican-inspired meal would be onions and tomatoes. So it's with these ingredients that you can use to flavor like taco meat or shredded chicken or pork or shrimp or fajitas. And then you can even use them to flavor beans and brown rice. So I'm going to show you how to fix a quick Fiesta brown rice. So what I've done is I got the instant brown rice, and it just takes 10 minutes to make. And with this recipe, I did 2 cups of the brown rice, and I cooked it in 2.5 cups of water. That's more water than what it calls for in the recipe. And then I drained off the excess, and that's to help prevent the clumping that could happen. So I have this in a bowl. And then to flavor it, what I'm going to do is add some of the olive oil. It's about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. And then half of a fresh lime. So the citrus flavor and kind of the more acidic flavor, it helps brighten it up and really helps replace salt in a recipe. Then cilantro is a common herb used in Mexican dishes, and you could also use the parsley. So I'm going to throw in 1/4 cup of chopped fresh cilantro, and you can use the other varieties as well. And then the spices, I'm using just a no salt Fiesta seasoning blend, like 1 to 2 tablespoons. Sprinkle that in and give it a toss, and you're done with the Fiesta brown rice. Okay, then for an Italian-inspired meal or dish, you'll want to have these different ingredients on hand. So the extra virgin olive oil again, and then a no salt, either garlic and herb blend or just an Italian seasoning blend. If you want to do the individual ones, then it would be thinking of things like oregano, basil, garlic powder. And then some other ingredients to have on hand would be onions, mushrooms, and tomatoes. Would add really good flavor there. Specifically, the mushrooms have a taste called umami, and umami is a savory flavor. It's kind of the 5th taste, and it also mimics a saltiness, so it is a good ingredient to have in those Italian dishes when you're trying to lower the sodium content. And then you could also, if you like things a little more spicy, sometimes that can help you lower the sodium in a dish, so some crushed red pepper flakes. So if you have these ingredients on hand, you can use that to flavor a chicken dish, a pasta dish, and then even make your own pasta sauce. So that's what I'm going to be talking through next, is how to make your own pasta sauce. And that would be to replace a store-bought jarred sauce that, again, could be higher in sodium. So to make the homemade pasta sauce, in a saute pan, I have a tablespoon of olive oil. And then I'm just going to saute in that a half cup chopped onion and a half cup of the baby bella mushrooms that are chopped as well. And you saute that just for about 1 to 3 minutes. Then I'm going to add in 1 can of a no salt added diced tomatoes, and then 1 can of a crushed tomato. And that does have a little bit of the salt in it, but you're still reducing the overall salt content. And then for the herbs, I'm going to use the garlic and herb blend and 2 to 3 teaspoons. And you simmer that on the stove for about 10 minutes, and it's ready to go. And it's great topped on, just a pasta dish or maybe a chicken parmesan. But if you want a lighter meal, you can try it on zucchini noodles or spaghetti squash. You can find these recipes and more on our website at dccubv.com in the nutrition recipes section.